Buenos dias, London town. It is I, the drunk fool, far away from my humble abode in Southern California, but I've traveled a long way to see one of the greatest bands coming out of Europe and the UK. I'm here with Taran from Bicurious. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's warm. I'm a little hungover. It's early. This is the earliest I've ever done one of these interviews. Usually I say buenos noches, but it is like before noon. I don't even think I've been awake before noon in the past week. So this is a real mission to come here to be here with you, but I'm honored to be here.
Awesome. I'm very, very glad you made it out here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I think your guys' sound, you probably aren't super particular about guitars with certain pickups or certain amps, like you need to move with certain amp heads, because you guys are real pedal heavy, right? Like a lot of your sound comes from, you probably have a massive pedal board.
I do. It's actually just in the next room. But yeah, it's very pedal heavy. I basically, in terms of gear, I just need a clean amp. I used to use kind of like Fender hot rod style amps, and then I'm not like a massive gear nerd, and I don't really like maintenance of equipment. Like if something can just kind of stay how it is for as long as possible without me interfering with it, that's kind of what I go for. So I recently moved to some more like solid state amps, like Roland's JC40s or something, and that's what I've been using for the last few years.
And then you guys just put out a record a little under a year ago, Your Life Is Over Now, which is just the fucking bee's knees. It is the coolest record, and it's the first record that you're singing on, and I'm sure you've been asked to death about, oh my god, you guys were an instrumental band. When I got into you guys, you were an instrumental band. Yeah. And then now he's singing, blah, blah, blah. I imagine these are tired questions to answer. So what I'm more curious about is like how you use your voice as an instrument, specifically on the record, because there's so many choruses where you layer so many harmonies, particularly on Magic Marker. Like there's like the like, and it is a wall of sound, just the vocals alone. Like I would kill to just hear all the vocal tracks with the drums, and that's it. You know, so where does that come from, this painting with vocals?
I think I just really like harmonies in general. Like when I was the way we made this record, we went through like several like demo processes of basically the very original, like the first demos that I made for the songs for the album were basically like Logic sessions of me just, you know, with like fake drums or whatever, and recording and just experimenting by myself, because like I mentioned, I live in Germany, Gav lives in Dublin, so like right now a lot of the songwriting and stuff happens like separately. So I spend a lot of time just kind of recording shit at home and building those layers. And so when we started writing songs with more like vocal based, I just had lots of fun just like adding layers and layers and layers of harmonies. And like the more difficult thing was actually like when it came to recording was kind of, all right, maybe we're not going to go with these like 20 different layers. I'm going to have to pick the best ones, because at the same time, you know, you have to consider the live show a little bit as well. And of course you can't really recreate those layers on the live show unless we're using tracks or, you know, harmonizer pedals or whatever. But I'm not really into that kind of stuff. I prefer to keep the live show as raw as possible. And I've had many conversations about this with my friends, and I think I've come to the conclusion that which is something our producer Tom, I think he shares this sentiment, but like the record is one thing, you know, it sounds a certain way. The live show can be a completely different thing.
Totally.
You don't have to match the record for the sake of it. I think you can. That's what we're doing now. You know, Gav doesn't really sing. I mean, we tried having him sing a little bit, and it might be in the future that he will sing more. But right now he's not singing, and it's just me doing all the vocals. So it sounds quite different to the record because it's literally just one vocal live. But I think it just gives a different experience to the listener, because you know, someone who's been listening to the record on rotation and knows the songs by heart is going to come to the show and they're going to experience something different, which I think is actually kind of cool.
If you wanted to hear the record, you could just listen to the record.
Yeah, because you go to gigs like, you know, big bands who have all these backing tracks and stuff because they want it to be exactly like the album, and it's fair enough, but it's just like the album, you know. Obviously you've got the live element in the show and everything, but like sound wise it's just like the album. So I think it's cool to do it a little bit differently out of necessity for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, embracing that, you know.
You guys also just kind of live have a party vibe.
Yeah.
You know, you're very exciting live, and it's like, if it were to be muddied down by like this militaristic approach to like playing along with the tracks and making sure all the moving pieces are there, it might take away from the fun nature of how fun you guys are live. I mean, there's really no other word for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's like bang on that point. Yeah, we do take a lot of freedom when we play live. We have a lot of parts in the songs where we kind of, you know, we have like extended pauses within songs where we engage with the crowd, and it's all about like kind of raw energy and sort of, you know, being in sync together, but also with the audience and stuff. So you're right that adding too many bells and whistles on top of that would just be too stressful, I think, and too restrictive in terms of like the freedom of being on stage and kind of expressing ourselves, I think.
How was that party, like that house party you played a couple weeks ago? It was like a birthday party?
Yeah, it
looked cool.
It wasn't a birthday party. It was so like we fundraised, we crowdfunded our latest album.
Yeah.
And we were so amazed by the response of people who were donating and stuff. And one of the perks was, if you donated a certain amount of money, we promised to come to your house and play a show in your house. So this guy donated that money and selected that perk, and we finally went to his house a couple of weeks ago, and it was great. It was really fun. He invited all his friends. He had this beautiful house. He had all this food. This guy was a chef, so like he made all this food. And,
That's so
it was
cool.
Really nice, and we had a really good time, and like it was great because it was like 20 people there and a dog, and, but the guy who had paid for the thing, like I kept looking at him, you know, during the show, and he was so happy. He was like I can't believe this is happening in my living room, and it was really wholesome. It was really cool.
Did he request any like songs or anything specific?
No, we asked him if he wanted us to play anything in particular, but he was just like, no man, just do whatever you want. So we did, and yeah, we had a really good time. It was nice. Did
you feel like a freedom to experiment, like maybe play a song that we don't normally do in front of bigger crowds? See, you know, test the wheels on that?
No, because actually you're right, we could have done that, but it's like unfortunately, like we were playing a festival in the UK the day before. We had this house party show then on that day, and then the following day I had to go down to the studio to record some new material for Bicurious in the following days. So we basically had no time to rehearse, so we did our solid set list that we're comfortable with, because we didn't want to fuck it up for him either. We didn't want to just play experimental shit for the sake of it and then actually not give him the same experience.
Sure.
Yeah, well, it could have been a good opportunity to do that, but the thing is, like, I was quite nervous for that show because there were so few people there, like, that I'm more comfortable, like, for example, it was such a stark contrast because the day before, as I said, we played this festival in the UK, Truck Festival, and we played this tent, and there was, I don't know, probably like 1,000 people like watching us play, and they were going crazy and stuff, and it was amazing. And I wasn't that nervous before playing the show because I knew that the crowd was going to respond because there were so many people there, and you could feel the vibe already, like even before starting the show. But whereas there, like 24 hours later, we were playing in this living room in front of like 15, 20 people that I didn't know. I didn't know if they were going to enjoy the show. I didn't know if they were going to leave the living room as soon as we started playing and go outside to have a smoke.
Or just stand there.
Yeah. So I was like, I was really nervous. So I think probably that's one of the other reasons why we actually went for our tried and trusted set list, because we knew it was going to work.
Yeah, I feel like I would probably do the same thing. Where in France are you from?
So it's a region called Brittany or Bretagne.
Brittany. That's like the west, right?
Yeah,
countryside.
so it's like the kind of part that sticks out in the west, like underneath kind of UK.
Near like Nantes, like.
Nantes is like Nantes is a city that's like kind of on the border between Brittany and the rest of France.
Okay.
So like my dad is like a really hardcore, like he's for the independence of Brittany. Like I laugh because it's kind of like it's been a thing, and it's not really something that's necessarily going to happen, but like a lot of people hope that is going to happen. And some people, so the Breton people, the people from Brittany, consider Nantes to be in Brittany, but I think officially it's not.
Okay.
So there's like a big
Gotcha.
debate about that, but yeah.
We have a friend actually, Nino Douillard, and he's from Brittany, and we actually
Nino?
he's a drummer. He used to play in a band called Platypus something.
How the fuck do you know this guy?
Do you know him?
He's like one of my childhood friends. He grew up literally like 5 minutes away from my place. He's our driver when we tour in France. How do you know him?
No fucking way.
How do you know him?
What? Okay.
Did you meet him when he was traveling through Canada?
Yeah.
That's fucking insane, man.
Okay,
That's crazy.
so he rented this fucking shitty van and he drove across Canada by himself.
The big red van.
The red one.
Yeah.
And then when he got to the West Coast, he came through like America, like
Yeah.
And then he ended up in California, and I'm a musician too, obviously, and
Were you in the band that asked him to play at this house party with him?
Yes.
He told us this story that the drummer broke his foot or something happened.
He had
to the drummer.
kidney stones.
Kidney stones, yeah, and like he had to fill in at this,
Yeah.
and he told us it was so funny because he was telling us the story, and he was like, "This was like proper like American pie style party with the red cups and everything."
Yeah.
And he was
There was like a stripper pole.
Yeah. And he told us the story. It was so funny, man. That's insane. That was you.
That was me.
That was your band.
That was my band.
Fuck, man. That was crazy.
Did he say we were shy?
No. He said he had a really good time. But it's crazy because Nino, literally, like, we went to school together when we were kids, and we were like best friends. Well, not. We were very, very good friends, and our parents used to be best friends, so we spent like so much time together when we were kids.
We almost stayed at his house like a couple of days ago.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we were
in
gonna,
Brittany.
Yeah.
He
was gonna pick us up. He was gonna try and find a car big enough to pick us up.
That's like where he lives is like 20 minutes from where I grew up. Yeah.
No way. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, he was in California and I was playing a wedding, like just a whatever like wedding gig playing drums, and it was in Bishop, which is like kind of the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. It's towards Mammoth, like it's like a ski town, and I just went to the bar after the wedding with the rest of the band and just was getting hammered. And then here's this guy with a Mastodon Leviathan t-shirt. I was like, I love Mastodon, what's up? And he was like, bro, fucking Mastodon, like, you know them, bro? And I'm like, yeah, dude, what's up? And then I invited him back to our hotel. And me and him got Denny's and we got hammered, and instantly him and I hit it out. Like, he's a wild man.
He's so easy to get along with. He's
like
one of the nicest people I've ever
met. Then I called him and was like, drive like 6 hours south and come to my house, come stay with me and my family. And he did, and he hung out there for like 3 days.
Wow.
And we were in the jacuzzi, and I introduced him to my whole family, like hanging out. It's totally California. It was like American Pie.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. It was super cool. Then on Halloween, like weeks later, I fucking am in Los Angeles, which is like 2 hours west of where I'm from. And I'm in Santa Monica, and I miss an exit to get to my hotel because I'm staying in Santa Monica for Halloween. And I have to turn around on the freeway, and I'm driving along the beach, and I see the red van.
No way.
Swear to God, I'm like, that's fucking Nino. And then I'm like, what? I'm looking out the window, and then Nino like gets out of the van just at that second. I can't mistake him. Yeah. I'm like, that's fucking Nino. And I call him, and I'm like, are you in Santa Monica? He's like, bro, I'm at the beach, bro. Like, he's like, I'm like, happy Halloween, you gotta come hang out with us. And then me and him hung out, and we went and got tacos, and we partied together. Like, dude. He knows Nino too.
That's crazy, man.
He played drums with Nino, like they split drum duty.
Okay. Nice.
Because our normal drummer, he got kidney stones.
That's nuts, man. Yeah, he's like our. So yeah, we're good friends, and whenever we've toured France like 3 times now, and 2 out of those 3 times he was our driver for the entire tour, like roadie kind of. Even like recently in June, I think we did a French tour, and that was with him as well.
I have to come see you guys in France then.
Yeah,
so I can see Nino, like it's a big old family, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Have you guys been to America?
No. We'd really like to. We were thinking about it recently, like what it would
Super
take.
expensive, I'm sure.
It's the whole visa thing, and like, you need to, you need to get a tour together that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you need to find places to play that are going to pay you so that you can kind of like offset the cost of the visa and the traveling and all that shit.
Yeah.
It's a big undertaking, and it's something that we'd love to do. And we know that we have a lot of fans, I think. We think we have a lot of fans in the US based on, Spotify data and like all this kind of shit. But it's just a big scary thing to do, So, but yeah, we're hoping to do it in the next few years. For sure.
Is French your first language?
Yeah.
Why do you sing in English?
Because nowadays I feel more comfortable speaking English.
Okay.
Because I left France when I was 16, and I don't go back very often, and like I was, my dad is French but my mother is Irish, so I always had two languages.
Gotcha.
But then from the age of 16, kind of English became my first language. But yeah, that's kind of it. I lost my train of thought there. But,
It's a silly question, but it's worth asking. You know, given you're from a part of the world that's so bilingual.
I think I remember now. It was like you were saying, why do I sing in English? I think most people would agree. Well, a lot of people would agree that English is kind of like an international music language.
It's good for broader appeal.
Yeah, and it's funny because I live in as I said, I live in Germany, and so like there's a lot of German artists who prefer to sing in English, and nowadays I'm like, that kind of sucks, because you can see that those non-native English speakers, they have a lot more difficulty with writing interesting lyrics, and even just sometimes pronunciation can kind of hint. Like I sometimes struggle a little bit listening to music sung in English by non-native speakers because of their accent.
Yeah.
I find it a bit distracting, you know.
Yeah.
So I usually find that if you're not a native speaker, it's there's almost more value in singing in your native language, because you'll have much more interesting things to say. I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But of course, people will say, well, you know, then I'm not going to get as many people listening to my music if I don't speak in English, because it takes away such a big portion of listenership. You know?
The whole making music itself is paradoxical, right? I mean, there's so many things that artists beat themselves up over, and you're like, oh man, how do we recreate the record live, or what language do we sing in, and all this shit. This complexity of music, I think, is narrowed to such a specific point on your last record, with you say it on the opening track, right? Like family will always come first. It's like the most incredible heavy album I've ever heard, that is so overwhelmingly positive, right? And the title, right? It's a play on this joke about your life being over. If you're a parent, if you're a father, right? How can you be a musician and a father? And clearly you're doing an exceptional job. And I'm so moved by the lyrics and the sentiment and the vibe of your record, right? There's something so exciting. It's something that's not tapped on rock, like that, coming around, right? It's like, oh my God, this is so heavy. I want to jump. I want to party, right? And you're singing about this fear and this joy of being a dad, right? I mean, I really am interested about what is it like writing as a dad, and writing a whole album pretty much about being a dad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just about being a dad. It's also it looks at family from all different angles, from being a father, but also being a son, and
on Untitled, maybe.
Yeah, my experiences with my parents, and then in turn my experiences as a parent, and also not just me, but there's a song called Uncle Kevin, which looks at a very close friend of mine, their struggles with their parents and things like that. So it's it's about family, and it's about parenthood and relationship with parents and children and stuff. But yeah, it's because I think for me, I've always, and I think it's the same for a lot of people, I've always written about me and what's going on in my life. I know a lot of people write about the state of the world and society and stuff. I'm not so good at that. I'm not so good at social commentary so much.
You have some older tracks that tap into it.
Yeah, fair. But nowadays,
Japanese Puppies.
Yeah, but they're not really lyrics though. They're more people who are using samples from things. So I think it's a bit different. But if I was to write something about that stuff, I don't think I could. I just don't really have it in me. I think other people do it way better. I'm better at talking about how I feel and what I think about what's going on in my life, because it's almost like my kind of therapy almost.
Yeah.
And of course, when you're in your early 20s and you're going out experiencing fucking sex, drugs and rock and roll, it's that's what you write about. But when you're maybe in your latter part of your 20s, and for me, I got my first kid was born when I was 23, so pretty quickly went into that sort of parenthood stage, and I just ended up writing about that stuff because that's kind of the stuff that I felt that was true for me right now. And you know, it's not like just, oh, it's amazing to be a parent. It's actually fucking like really hard sometimes, and not just because you don't get any sleep, but also because you have to figure out how to be a good person to those other people. And there's like, I struggle with so many things as a parent. I'm also so happy that I am a parent, but it's like, it's not always easy.
Gutless is a scary song, right?
Yeah.
I mean, about parenthood.
Yeah,
and that's sort of how we maybe know each other is through that song.
Yes, yeah. Gutless is about my son June, it was like the first time he was like really sick, and he was like still a baby. Well, he was like a year old or so. But yeah, we didn't know what was wrong with him. He was like throwing up every time we fed him for a few days, and so we had to go to the hospital. And in the end, he was fine, but we had to bring him to the hospital, and he was hooked up to like these IVs and stuff to like feed him and stuff, which was, it's hard to see when you're like 1-year-old child is like in that situation. He
Totally.
was like, he wasn't himself. He was really pale and weak and stuff. So it was like really scary. So that song is about that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome for eating dirt and, you know.
That was really cool.
That was a long cleanup. But
it was that we were talking about this with Gav last night. We were like, that was definitely the most like visually striking contribution out of all of them.
I was pissed. I was like, oh, these people are fucking
They're just
doing
like
dishes?
dancing and like, well, that's what we said.
No, I mean, you didn't say like to go as hard as...
Just do whatever you want to do, because some people are a bit shy. They don't want to go all out, but we needed footage, so we were just like, whatever you want to do, just do it.
Yeah, I think I smashed a cake in my face.
Yes, you did.
And we bought blood, like fake
Yeah.
blood, and we soaked me in blood. And it's still not come out of my shoes. Like, they're stained red. And it took probably like an hour and a half to hose me down. Wow. And then like deep clean me in the shower. Like, it was horrible. Like, I was so messy. And then I had a pack of matches that I was going to light a match. And I was going to like put it in my mouth, like extinguish it by like, you know, putting it in your mouth. But the match was so soaked with all the cake frosting. And in the footage that you combed through it, you probably see my pathetic attempt at like trying to light the match. And I was so upset. And to this day, that box of matches is still there behind my friend Aurora's house. And we're just so pissed off.
Something's about to happen.
I'm not gonna lie. Just trash it.
That's no way. Shout out my friend Aurora. She's a big fan of your guys's through me. And she loves Magic Marker. We both love Magic Marker. This is like, if I'm like laying down in the other room, I don't feel like socializing and there's people, and then she just like puts that on. No. I'm like, you know, I gotta rally for that one. It's too good. Crumbled is a big one too. Like that last lyric, that sort of mantra at the end of Crumbled is like, my friend Ben Davis, great musician. He's obsessed with that song. He just thinks that that's like the greatest coda you could possibly have to that record.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you'll be a hit in California.
Sounds like it.
You can play at my house. Bring Nino.
That would be fucking so cool. That would be such like a coming together of everything. Yeah.
Small world, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I found you guys through Tiger Cub, actually.
Through Tiger Cub?
Yeah, Tiger Cub shared one of your songs.
What?
Yeah, Tiger Cub shared on their Instagram story like a couple years ago. I don't know, shared like Japanese Puppy or...
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, this fucking rips.
I had no idea, because I like I said to you before, I really like Tiger Cub. I had no idea they knew we were a band.
Really?
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll let him know. I'll send Jamie a text and I'll let him know. The internet has simultaneously given us, you know, the world at our fingertips. So much great music can be accessed so much easier than it ever could be before. Mm-hmm. But in turn, you have to sift through the mountains and mountains of garbage.
Yeah, fair. That's true.
And I'm honored that I found you guys, this loud duo from Dublin. And you met Gavin because I assume when you were a teenager you went to Dublin and you said your mom's Irish?
Yeah. So I went to Dublin from France when I was 16, when I was finished school in France, because I wanted to study in Dublin. So I studied sound engineering for a couple of years, and then I took a year out to basically to do music, and then I went back to college again to study music, and that's where I met Gav in BIM, in the music college in Dublin.
Uh-huh. And was it pretty instant? Like, I like this guy? Like,
Yeah. So what happened was I went straight into second year, so I skipped first year, and so I went straight into his year, which he had already done first year with this group of people, so they all knew each other, and I was thrown into this group of people that I didn't know. And in like the kind of freshers week, there was like a big kind of party in like a venue in Dublin, and basically to kind of to hang out with those guys. And I basically went around to everyone asking, do you want to jam with me, and stuff. And he was the first person to say like, yeah, let's jam. And after that party, there was an after party then at somebody's house, and I remember there was like an acoustic guitar and there was a pair of drumsticks, and like he was like playing like the couch, like hitting the couch with the drumsticks, and I was playing acoustic guitar. And then we were like, okay, let's actually do it for real, like some other time, because we had fun.
that's cute.
And yeah, that's kind of how we started jamming together.
Do you have your outfit on you in one of your bags?
I do, yes, over there.
What's the origin of that? Or is that a tight-lipped secret?
No, it's not a secret. It's like, well, I just, when we were starting this band, I wanted to do things like in the right way. I wanted to do things like meaningfully, not just do a band for the sake of doing a band, actually doing like things with purpose. And so I was like, okay, we need some sort of like attire. And at first, so we thought, like, because we used to get really sweaty on stage for the first few gigs we ever played, we were like, okay, we need shorts and like tank tops to be able to breathe. And so I went to get like a purple t-shirt and like a turquoise t-shirt and purple shorts and a turquoise pair of shorts. And basically I cut the sleeves off the t-shirts. Gav was wearing the turquoise top and the purple shorts, and I was wearing the purple top and the turquoise, or whatever, the opposite.
Yeah.
And so we did that for like a show, and then we realized that they were absolutely horrible colors, and we just looked really weird.
Probably looked like kitchen cleaner or something.
Yeah, it was just really not nice. And then we wanted to switch to black, just be all black, and we went to film the video for Sleep, but our friend was like, the guy who was doing the video, the director, he wanted to shoot it in a dark studio where basically it was like one light like overhead, and all the background was black. So he was like, well, if you're gonna wear black, you're basically just gonna be like little floating heads. So we said, okay, maybe let's just wear all white then. And so we did that same thing, shorts and tank tops, but white. And we just stuck with it because it was like, it's pretty cool. No, I just want to say thank you for coming out here, man. It's been a really, really, really pleasant interview.
It's been a treat for us too.
Sometimes interviews can be a bit monotonous, you get asked the same questions all the time, but this has been really nice. So yeah, thanks for coming out. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. What are any plans for Bicurious? Anything you want to plug? Anything to keep your eyes out?
Well, yeah, I guess, watch the space or whatever, because we're gonna have some stuff being announced very soon, but it's still in the works, so I don't think I should really say too much about it. But yeah, there's gonna be some cool stuff announced soon. So yeah.
Big Scary Monsters?
Yeah, Big Scary Monsters. They're our label. They're amazing. You should also check them out.
Big Scary Monsters. Bicurious.
Yeah.
Big stuff coming. It's gonna be cool.
Exactly.
Taran, Gavin, they're the greatest. You heard it here first. Web protection.
All right, that's it. Fuck, man.
Sorry, the mat just got fucked up.
No, you're fine.
Good fucking God. Shout out Bicurious.